Hey, Dwayne. Hey, Nicole. How are y'all? Forgive me here. I'm trying to get this camera set up. I hate using this phone. Okay. Maybe that's it. I hope so. What? Oh, great. Hi, Karen. How are you? How is the sound? Can everybody hear me? Okay. Okay. Oh, man. Just a little far. All right. I think I'm going to leave it right there. How's everybody tonight? Okay, I got one light it may be kind of bright, and if it is, and it goes to washing out my colors on this side, y'all let me know, and I will turn it down some. Tonight's painting uh, may need to be called When You Put Your Foot in Your Mouth. uh, I had several requests from my last live to do a painting with some wildflowers in it. Now, about 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, I painted a painting with some wildflowers in it, and it sold the next day after I posted it on Facebook. And I lost the lady's contact info, so I couldn't get in touch with her to get a reference photo of it, and I don't remember exactly the layout on it. And tonight may end up being a disaster. I don't know. But I always say when I'm painting, if it don't work out, you can always scrape it off and paint something else on it. So hopefully tonight this works out and I don't have to do that. I'm working on a 16 by 20 inch canvas, and I've already got it covered in a very thin coat of liquid white. The colors I have out is titanium white, and I got two piles of that. I've got phthalo blue, I've got cerulean blue, black, dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, sap green, cad yellow, yellow ochre. I have a viridian green, and I have a version of that that's got a little white mixed in it. I have mauve, and I have a very light magenta color, rose red, orange, and a golden color. And most of these colors are colors I'm using when I'm doing like a more of a realism type painting, not like I normally do with the mountains, the trees, and the water. Some of the techniques will be the same, but the colors will be different. So, And I guess with all that said, I'll just grab a 1-inch brush here and I'll just jump in and start painting if y'all ready. First thing I'm gonna do is come up here and grab me just a little bit of my phthalo blue. Just a little bit on my brush. I'm gonna start right here. Come across, making my little edge strokes. Now, at any time during this painting, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If I miss any questions because I'm looking at the canvas, catch me when I'm asking or answering another question and ask again. I don't mean any harm by not answering your questions. Sometimes I just don't see them all. All right, I'm gonna bring this horizon down just a little bit past halfway in this painting, about like so. Then I'll take me a paper towel over here and knock some of this paint out. I guess you did, Amber. How are you? Well, all I've done so far is applied liquid white to the canvas, and I just put some phthalo blue up for the sky. That's all I've done so far. So you haven't really missed anything. And I'm just gonna go up here with some circles and just mix these colors. And this is just circles, just round circles is all it is. And it's just another blending process. No, the liquid white is not dry. It's always wet. That's what gives you the ability to be able to move paint around on the canvas and to blend colors. The liquid white is, it's always wet when you start. And it just takes a very thin coat. Now I have a YouTube page. And on my YouTube page, I have a couple videos on how to apply liquid white. And my YouTube page is Painting with Harold. And if you want to go check it out, just subscribe over there. Yes, Dwayne, wet on wet. I have over 200 videos posted on YouTube, and a lot of them are step-by-step tutorials. And that is one channel that I really need to get growing. So, hey, KD, how are you tonight? I mean, KS. And there's Rod. What's going on, Rod? Anytime you're doing one of these paintings and you spend a little time in your sky or whatever with a little extra blending, don't think you're doing a bad thing. because blending is always good. Well, I'm sorry to hear you having a rough day. Well, thank you, MC. I was just saying before I got started, tonight's episode may have should have been entitled "When You Put Your Foot in Your Mouth," because I had some requests to do wildflowers, and I have not done wildflowers in about 5 years. And the painting sold to a lady up in Tennessee, and I lost all the information on it, so I couldn't get any reference photos. So I don't have a clue how this is going to turn out tonight. Oh, I hate stomach problems, man. Oh, well, good for you. I hope it works out. If it does, be sure to share some of them. I'd love to see it. All right. I knocked as much of this paint out as I could over here on my paper towel. And I'm going to come right over here in one of my piles of white. Like I said, I got 2 piles of white. That way I can keep one clean and I can work out of the other one without contaminating everything. All right. Just tap some color on the brush. And I'm going to come right up here. And I just want to make me some small circles with the 1-inch brush. Just really small circles. Then I'll knock some of that color out. Then I'll come up here and just lightly fluff this little cloud up. This is not a real visual cloud. And I'll just rub across it. I want that one to look way back in the distance. Well, good for you, man. I am so happy for you. Just shop around and look for some deals on the stuff. Sometimes you can get some really good deals on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. So, you know, sometimes eBay even. All right, now I'll come over here with a fan brush. Since we got that distant cloud in there. I'm going to come up here. And I've got me a little hair there. I just want to come up here now with fan brush and just continue to make little small circles. And I just want just little indications of clouds up here. Hey, Julianne, how are you? Starting to feel like family tonight. We'll come over here, and I'll add another one. Now the clouds don't have to be the star of this painting. I just want some indications up here that, well, thank you, Jerry Ann, I appreciate that. I just found out what all that meant the other day. I would not believe it if you told me. Uh-oh, now you got to tell me. I have cockatiels. Evil little cockatiels. All right, now I just want to come up here and just throw in an indication of another little happening cloud right here. Just a quick, easy one. Nothing special on the clouds today. pulled stitches out yesterday. Did you pull them out or did the doctor pull them out? All right, I'm just going to collect and blend the bottom of these. Oh, goodness. Was it time to do that, or did you accidentally do it, or what's the story? Right, just blend the bottom out. Like so. I'm not really sure what an anvil cloud is, man. I'm sorry. But I would say, pretty close to probably the same technique, because just about all clouds are just little floating masses of moisture. I'll have to see what an anvil cloud is before I could really answer that question with certainty. 3 stitches in my hand. Well, is that was that the stitches from the carpal tunnel surgery? These are stretch canvases, MC. 16 by 20. They're just the ones that you can buy at Hobby Lobby. DK, I would say, yeah. I would say you would use the same technique for the puffy clouds. Well, Jen, are you okay? I mean, oh, if you've been cutting grass, you're fine. Oh, no. Please say you didn't fall on that hand. Oh, my goodness. Well, you're right. That's hard to believe. That sounds like my luck. Good night. Well, thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. We got a long way to go yet. So, oh, this may be a scrapper. I don't know. Get all those little brush strokes out. I don't really need them in my painting today. Push more one way so I did not get hurt. Well, it's a blessing you didn't get hurt, but you better be a little more careful. DK, with a lot of patience and a lot of practice, I'm sure your clouds will look that way and better. But that's all it takes is patience and practice. Lots and lots of practice. When I first started, I could not buy a cloud. I'm telling you, clouds killed me. As did a lot of other things, but clouds really frustrated me. Okay, I do remember in that painting I had some some mountains that were way off in the distance looking mountains. So, well, thank you, Jerry Ann. I appreciate that. To me, it just looks washed out. I don't, let me try to adjust this light. I don't know. I guess I'll just leave it like that. All right. I'm gonna grab me some of my white again. Bring it up here where I can work with it. Now the color I'm trying to get right now is a very light gray, not a dark gray, a very, very light gray. I just barely want it to show up in my sky. Then I'll pick up just a hair bit of the Stalo blue and bring over. So I end up with a real light bluish gray color. That's just black, white, and a little bit of blue. That's the only colors I'm using. I bet that'd make for some good pictures of a tropical storm. All right, I'm gonna try this color right here. And if it's not the right color, I'll just tone it down a little bit. Anytime you're mixing a color and you fix to go up to your canvas with it to try it on a another step, get you a little bit of it and touch it to your canvas in kind of like a non-conspicuous spot and see if it's the right color that you're looking for, which this is close enough. And if it's not the right color, go fix it before you put a lot of it on your canvas. That way it won't create a lot of headache for you later on down the line. Because it's a lot easier to put it on than it is to take it off. Not to say you can't take it off. It's just a whole lot easier to put it on. I hope you don't mind. Are you asking if I mind that you write the colors down? No, I don't mind a bit. That's that's kind of why I'm doing the instructional videos like I do them. You know, I don't just come in here and just paint without trying to give some kind of instructions on them. No, no, I don't mind a bit. In fact, that's a smart idea. All right, on this one over here, I'm gonna do a little different type mountain on it. I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna come across with it. Not like so. I'm gonna drop it down. this top side to be more rounded. Yeah, it would probably work pretty good for some storm clouds. It may need to be a little darker in places, I don't know. Alright, then I just want to kick out over here. Come around. That's about all I want on mountains right there. Don't really need no more than that in this painting. Alright, I'm gonna grab my 1-inch brush that I was using earlier to do all the sky with and the clouds. I'm gonna come out here. I'm gonna start pulling this color out and down. And there again, I just want this, I want it to look like a real far distant mountain back here. Pull this color out and start blending it out. And it'll just blend right down into the blue that I had up there. Well, thank you, Devin. I appreciate that. Alright, about like so for now. Alright, I'm gonna pick up the little small knife that I just used to make the mountain with. I'm gonna come up here my other white, just a clean pile. Pull out and get just a little small roll of paint on my knife. Then I'm gonna come up here and just start putting on the indication of a little snow back here. Now, I don't want a lot because, like I said, these are supposed to be distant. So I want them to be kind of to where you can see them, but they don't have to be fully detailed like normal mountains that we paint. So I'm going to be kind of sparingly with the white paint. But even that, with that said, we still want our paint to break on these mountains. Now when you come up here to pull this white paint out, to get you another roll, or when you first initially start loading it, you want to pull that paint out as flat as you can get it. If there's a secret in this technique right here, that right there is probably, I wouldn't say a secret, but it's a really helpful tip. That paint has to be pulled out flat. Just very lightly here with no pressure. I'm just pulling this color down. I mean, there's no pressure there at all. Now, at any point during this painting, if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask. I don't want to do anything that confuses anybody. And I will answer any questions that I see or that I can. And if I can't answer them, I'll try to find somebody that can. Alright, then we'll come over here. I'll start right here. I'll start pulling this paint down the same way. Same way. Just real light, no pressure at all. And if you don't use any pressure, that paint will break for you. It'll just roll right off that knife. Now, I don't want to make that sound like it's easy, and if you can't do it, you're messing up. Because it does take a lot of practice to get the paint to do this. I don't want to make it sound like you should be able to do it the first time you pick up a knife. But the more you practice at it, the easier it becomes. Just like any of these techniques in this style of painting. bit more right in here. Okay. That should do us on our highlights. Now to make my shadow color, I'm going to come down here in my other pile of white. Get just a little bit of it. Then I want to pick up just very, very little bit of the phthalo blue. Not much at all. Probably about that much. And I want to bring it into my white. Then I'll come up here and get me just a little speck of the black. And that's just a tiny little speck of black. And that's just to grade this blue down some. Because what I'm looking for now is another bluish gray, but I want it to be a shade or two darker than what I already got up here. Not much, just a couple, 1 to 2 shades darker is about it. Because this is a very distant mountain. So I want my shadow color to be real light color too. This is looking pretty close. All right, I'm gonna pull it out flat. I'm gonna use that little edge on my knife now. I'll come out up here and I'll touch it first. Let's see. Yeah, I know that color. In fact, I could probably get away with just a little bit more blue in that. Just a little. Just light pressure here again. Now it never takes as much shadow color as it does highlight color, luckily. Now I know there's going to be a tree in this area, so I'm not going to pile it up with a lot of paint. Alright, then I'll come up here. Start on this outside line. Just come in here, start pulling down some of my color in here. All I'm doing is just pulling the opposite direction of my highlights, opposite angles, because angles are real important in mountains. In fact, that's basically all they are, is just a game of angles in here. I'm just going to pull it right over to the highlight color that's coming down this other mountain, kind of like a little U shape, and just nice blend them together right here. Just very, very subtle. And that'll give it a kind of a valley look if you get them blended right. About like so. As long as we keep that distant look, that's all we want to do. Right, we'll come over here on our last little peak. We'll do it the same way. We'll just lightly pull it down. All right, I'm gonna say that's pretty good on our mountain right there. Because if I keep piddling with it, I'm gonna mess it up and end up making it too dark. I don't want to do that. All right, I'm gonna get my 1-inch brush again, come up here, and now I just want to start coming up into the mountain the same direction that it's coming down. I just want to go up into it and lightly tap along the bottom. Just real lightly tapping. Now I'm tapping, so that means y'all should be tapping. Just real light. All the way across here. In the same direction that that paint's coming down. And then the same thing on this side. Same direction. About like so. And then I'm gonna come in here like doing a cloud and just kind of lightly blend out the bottom. And then come back and real light pull up into the cloud. I mean into the mountain. Just real lightly. Just pull that paint right into the mountain. Just be sure not to pull it in too far, that you mess your angles up, and don't pull up so hard that you go to distorting the top part of your mountain, because it's real easy to do. Alright, just like that, that's going to give us a layer of mist down here that we're going to have to use to our advantage. We'll hang on to that 1-inch brush a little longer. All right, now I'm gonna come up here and get the little half round brush. This is what they call it. And I want to come over here and a little bit of my sap green right on the brush. Pull it over here. Tap it off on my palette. Then I'm going to come into the Van Dyke brown and just tap these colors together now. It's just brown and green. Van Dyke brown, and sap green. And just load the brush up. All right. I'm gonna come up here and just start lightly touching. And just give myself the indication of a little tree back in here. I'm gonna put another one right beside it. And I'm just lightly tapping here. And you want to be real careful when you're making these trees that you don't cover up all of this mist back here. So you can come over and give yourself maybe a little shorter one through here, and then drop down in like little bushes, kind of real shorter ones. And I'll show you what that technique does here in just a second. See how it lets your mist come through in places? Now you can still tell it's mist back there now, especially since you added this dark color. By adding this dark color, you can definitely tell. We'll come back. We'll get us just a little bit more of the brown and green. And those are the only two colors I'm using right now, is Van Dyke brown and sap green. All right, we'll come right up in here. We'll give ourselves a little tall one. And maybe another little short one. And that's all I'm gonna do all the way across the bottom here. Is I'm just gonna vary the heights in these, where some of them's tall, some of them short, just so I'll have areas of mist coming between them. And I want to do different size trees. I don't want them all to look the same. Some short, some tall, some fat, some skinny. Just like so. Now these trees are going to be kind of off in the distance too, so we don't want them to be just totally full of detail, but now they are closer to us than the mountains. That's the reason we're saving the mist back there. All right, about like so. Now some of these got a little bit dark on the top, a little darker than I wanted them to. So I'm gonna go up and kind of work on them. Just kind of tone them down a little bit. Alright, I'm going to drop that brush in it thinner. Now I'm going to gonna grab my script liner brush now. I'm gonna get a little thinner on it. I'm gonna come up here in the same color that I just used. And just roll it around on a little spot. Then that paint down some. Pull that brush to a real fine point. And I just want to come back here in places and just kind of give myself the indication of a couple little twigs sticking up back here and there, not many. It don't take many of these to be effective. Like so, that's about all it takes, really. Just something to break the eye up. All right, do we have any questions to this point? I may be doing something wrong. I'm losing viewers. All right. I'll go ahead and wash this little half round brush real quick. Then I'll get just a drop of thinner over here. I'm going to come up here in my cad yellow. I'll come right here in my light green color. I just want to mix these colors together right here on the brush. I'm just tapping right down into them. Hey Mandy, how are you tonight? Alright, now I don't want this color to be real dark. Just like everything else, we kind of want it to be light colored. Because we're not going to put a ton of highlights back here. I just want a few just to show that these are trees. So I'm just lightly going to tap on them. Just real lightly. And they don't all have to be the same color. You want a color change in here. So you come over here and grab a little bit of the yellow ochre and bring it over. Just keep your color changes subtle, because remember, you don't want a lot of detail back here. And you can still make changes and keep them subtle. It just depends on the amount of pressure you use. And you want to leave some darks in here. So but just like that, that's all you got to do to make a few color changes. You can get you a little more to yellow. hope these are showing up. Every once in a while you can come over here and get a little of the white. Very little bit, don't take much. And the white over here. This will make it look like a little sunbeam come through here, and maybe touched a couple of them in a couple places. But even at that, you still want to leave your dark color. Get a little more of the yellow. Just like so. About like so. That should be about all we need as far as color across here. Maybe a little bit right in here. Very little bit. Well, thank you, sweetie pie. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you for the rose. All right, I'll go and wash that brush right quick. Get the devil out of it. All right, I'm gonna grab me a 2-inch brush. And I'm gonna come up here in my sap green again, and my Van Dyke brown again. And I'm gonna mix these two colors on the brush again. Just on this 2-inch brush. Just mix them together. And just tap both colors in the brush. Now in this part right here, it don't really matter if you got dominant green or dominant brown. As long as they're mixed, it'll be fine. Then I want to just come up here at the bottom of these trees, and I just want to start tapping on this dark color. Just tap it on. And the reason I'm not going to brush it on is because I want this texture. And now keep in mind, we do have liquid white on the canvas, so that color's going to try to get lighter on you. Well, thank you, Kathy. So what you want to do is make sure you keep your color on your brush. Because all this needs to be is just a good dark color across here. This is just setting up the next step. Because in this technique, or well, just about in all painting, whether regardless of the technique, thank you, Kathy. You've got to have dark in order to show light. That is, I mean, that's just a fact in any kind of painting. Can you see what happened right in here? How sometimes I actually end up with a little more of the brown than I do the green, and sometimes I end up with a little more of the green than I do the brown. Now I'm not planning this, but because I'm just mixing these colors on the brush, it's just happening that way. Bob used to refer to this as a happy accident. And I'm telling you, I'm not planning these colors. This is just, I'm just mixing them on the brush, and sometimes it's darker and sometimes it's not. But I'm not gonna fight that. I'm just gonna let it happen. Because when dark and light go to working together, you'll get dimension and depth in the painting. So I'm definitely not gonna fight that. Because even with that right there looking the way it does, and all you see me do is just tap on. I didn't do nothing special. That field looks like it's got depth in it with the light spots and the dark spots. And I didn't do anything special. I just got green and brown mixed on a 2-inch brush and just tapped it on. That's all I did. All right, we'll go clean this 2-inch brush right quick. All right. Now I'm gonna come up here to my cad yellow, and it's already got a good bit of green in it. But I'm just gonna tap it right on my 2-inch brush, just loading it up. All right, now I want to leave some dark up here under these bushes. I don't want to close all this in with colors, so I want some dark left. So I'm gonna come up here and I just want to start just real lightly tapping this color on across here. And just add a little highlight to this grass. And keep in mind that it's still far off. But we still need some highlight back here. Just a little bit. And then the more you apply to these dark colors, the more dark you're gonna pick up on your brush. Well, thank you, kindness. I appreciate that. All right, now even applying these highlights, you don't want to apply them everywhere either. We still want to leave some dark in here. Because we have a few more steps to go. And I just want this to look like a little field of real soft grass back in here. Every once in a while you come over here into the ochre, bring it over into this color. And it'll just give you a little change of color in here. That's all it'll do. Now what I'm doing is I'm kind of making little, let me show you. When I go to tapping this on, I'm just making little, kind of like little semicircles. And that way it's kind of making the field look like it's got little tiny hills in it, or little tiny mounds here and there that and leaving the dark spots, it just kind of helps give that impression that, you know, there's just little high spots and low spots out here. All right, now I'm not going to keep going over that, because if I do, it'll ruin the effect, and I don't want to kill that effect. I'm going to go ahead and wash this brush again. All right. Take a quick break. See if we got any questions so far up to this point. Thank you, Zara. That's a pretty name, Zara. It's very different. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Is that Mama Lisa? Is that what that is? Do I save the leftover paint? Most of the time, yeah, because I'm pretty sure I'll be doing another painting tomorrow. So a lot of these colors will get transferred to a new sheet. I don't very often have leftover colors. Hey, John. Now the earth tones will dry out on you if you leave them out too long. But most of the other colors, you can paint with them 2 or 3 paintings until you just run out of it. With most of the colors I got on this palette right now, even though this is a summer theme painting or spring, I could I could take this canvas off the easel and turn it right around and do a fall painting. So I wouldn't have a problem doing that with the same colors. I hope that answered your question. John, did you get your painting? Was it in one piece? Well, thank you, MC. I really appreciate that. Oh, you still haven't seen it? Okay. Well, I hope you like it when you do see it. Oh, hey, Eve, how are you? Wow. Oh, okay, you still on vacation. Gotcha, okay. Eve, thank you for last night telling me what that meant and uh, all that good stuff because I didn't have a clue, and I still don't. I'm learning the platform. I got a long way to go, but I learn something every day. So now this is actually a combination of different techniques. It's my design. It's actually going to be a field of wildflowers when I'm done. And oh yeah, TikTok. Yeah, TikTok is I don't know. It's I love it. It's the people here seem so more supportive because my YouTube page, I get 4 or 5 subscribers on there one day, and then the next day I lose 2 or 3. So, well, I don't want to come in there and or you mean now? Okay, I guess I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I don't want to come in your live asking a lot of questions and trying to distract you. MC, I'm just using thinner right now. Just very little bits of thinner when I do have to thin it out. Well, like last night when I asked you what that subscribers meant, you told me, and I appreciate that because I didn't know. Hey Kim, how are you tonight? No, Don, it's not. It's I'm just taking a small break, getting some questions. Just just a quick break. Then I got to get back at it. In fact, I guess I could go ahead and do that. Get started back. All right. To do the yeah, it does, Eve. To do my wildflowers at first, I'm gonna start out with a very old brush. This brush has probably been with me since I started painting, and it's just a flat brush that has pretty stiff bristles in it, and that's the reason I like it, is because the bristles are kind of stiff. Thank you, Wes. Appreciate that. I'm gonna bring it over here, and I'm gonna get just a small drop of thinner on it, very small. And I think the first colors I'll use is I'll start out with just a little bit of white first. Now to do these, it takes very little paint on your brush, and you want the bristles to be open. They have to be open. Then I'm going to just come up here, and I'm going to pick out a couple of areas that I want to do the white. And I just want to touch them on in just little small areas. Just real little subtle touches up here in little small areas. Just tiny touches. Okay, Jerry Ann, who is your question for? I mean, everybody's talking amongst themselves, and that is absolutely awesome. I like when that happens. Well, ask away. I'll maybe add some white out here. Yes, I do. Oh, I'm serious. I'm serious, Eve. Yeah, Jerry, and I still teach. I've got, well, I taught a couple people last week. They wanted to do a couple of paintings, and we did. But now I'm fixing to set up to where I can do online teaching, where it's like one-on-one. All right, these are just real light indications back here of just little patches of flowers. Well, sure, ask away. Well, thank you, Eve. I really appreciate that. Okay, put out just a little bit more of my yellow. Thank you, Rod. All right, I'm gonna knock the white out of my brush right here on my paper towel. And I'll grab just a little bit. Another drop of thinner. You think of people.
Like animals or just like landscapes?
Jan, I do photorealism, but now I don't teach that technique. It's a it's a long drawn out process. There's many steps involved, and it's real hard to teach it. Well, thank you for dropping in, Eve. I really appreciate that. That means the world to me. It is it's such a hard technique to teach. And the reason for that is because I'm not real proficient at it. It takes me a lot longer than it would somebody else. Yeah, I've done people. I've done several paintings of animals. I've done cats, dogs, birds. Um, I've done landscape realism, uh, like a lake scene that somebody took a picture of and wanted it done. I've done those. I've done houses. All right, I'm just taking on some of the yellow now and giving myself the indication of a few little yellow flowers back in here, just to change them up some. Now the one thing I'm trying to do is not bunch my colors up to where I got a real big, huge patch of yellow and the same color flowers together. Oh yeah, barns and all that. Yeah. I've got I've got several paintings of the like barns and stuff on my YouTube page. Barns and cabins and winter scenes and stuff like that. All right, now I'm gonna come over here. Hey, Coons, I heard you was live. I missed it. Sorry about that. I'm gonna get just a little bit of this lavender color, and I'm gonna mix it in here with the white, kind of brighten it up a little. Now this is a real light lavender color. It's almost a pinkish lavender. And I'm gonna tap just a little bit on the brush. My YouTube is Painting with Harold. Yeah, that looks pink. So we'll roll with it. We'll add a few pink ones in now. In little areas back here. Okay, sounds good. All right, we'll try a little of the red now. We'll just dance it in different little places back here. Doing them in little different little patches like this, it kind of helps you leave some of the green areas and some of the highlighted grass that we made. And it's kind of important that you're able to do that, because if you just come in here and cover it up with flowers, then it won't look like a field at all. It'll just look like a bunch of different colors smushed together. But now if that's what you want yours to look like, then it's your world. But now this technique is tedious. It's real time consuming. All right, I'll knock a little of that color out now. Then we'll come back up here and get some of the darker purple color. And I'll bring it down here. Now I'll add a little bit of it up here, but it's probably going to look black at first. But then I'll come back and I'll add some white to it here in a minute or two and give it a different color and actually make it appear purple. Then this will be a kind of like a highlight over the dark areas, and then that will let you, it'll tell you mine that they're supposed to be purple. So it's one of those illusions that works in painting. Knock that color off, and I'll come back in here and get some more of the straight white. And I'll come down in here with a few more little indications of some white ones. Then a few more indications of yellow over here. Just little subtle indications is all we're looking for. You don't want to light them up too much. All right, now I got one little heel right here, and maybe right in here. I want a different color. I'll tell you what, I'll use a little bit of the orange. Just a little. Now, I don't want many of these up here, but we'll put enough that you can see them. They can start getting a little bit brighter now that we're getting closer, and they can get a little bigger, not much, but just a little bit. And we'll come over here and add a couple, about like so. All right, now a little fun. Now I'm going to take now this is an older fan brush. It's just a little cheap fan brush. It's got some stiff bristles in it. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to pull out just a little of the black. And I want this kind of thin, so I put some thinner in it. And I'm going to come across here in a couple places. And I just want to just kind of push up in a couple places out here. Just like so. Some tall, some short. But I just want to push these up. Now this is straight black, and it is mixing with my other colors. So when it goes to mixing with the color, you can come back over it in places. And it'll kind of, kind of work it out at an angle, or you can keep them straight up if you want, just however you want to do it, basically. Then clean the brush out. You can come up here and get you a little more of it. Come back in here and just kind of keep working it out like so. Just pushing it up in different spots. About like so. That's all you got to do. Alright. After that, I'm going to come over here and I'll pick up my real fine script liner. I'm going to get a little thinner on it. I'm going to come right here in this real light green color. And I just want to work the brush around in it. Just real light. Real light. I don't want to load it too thick. I'm going to come right off the canvas and just pull in some of this green color. If it don't pull off right, get you a little more thinner. Let me see what's going on here. A little bit more thinner. For some reason it's not loading up the paint the way I need it to. Which that may be my fault for not rolling it around in there enough. Alright, let's try it again here. There we go. And just here and there, just come through here and give yourself the indication of a little green stems out here, because you don't want all black. You can come over here and get you some of the white. Put you a couple little white ones in. We just want a lot of different color little stems in here. You can come up here through the black if you need to and pull some of them up. Alright, now we want our flowers to be a little bigger now, since they are coming closer to us. We want to give them a little bit more definition. So we'll come into our colors. We'll pick us up a couple of the white ones first. We'll just come out here on top of some of these little black stems, and we'll just give ourselves some indication of some little white flowers. And just like we did back here, we want to kind of skip around on them. We don't want them piled up everywhere. And you can go to whatever color you want to go to next. You can go up here and get you some more of the purple if you want to. And do the same thing right there. You know, just when you put these in, just don't kill all of the little stems we made. And just skip around on them, and we kind of want them bigger, because now everything is closer to us. So we want you to see a little more of the detail now. And you don't have to hit every stem that you put in. It's not important that you do that. And I'll get just a little of the red now. I'll go over here and get just a little bit of the darker red. I want some of this color out. Let me wash this brush real quick before I go into the yellow. I'll come right here and pick up some of the yellow. Tap it on. I'll come right here and just get a few indications of some little yellow ones out here. Well, thank you, John. Thank you, Sandra. Now this illusion will work as long as you keep them random, and don't just shove a bunch of colors in one little area, because that won't be, the eye just won't fall for that. Your eye's gonna know something's wrong. I think a real pretty color would be that color we used for the shadow up in the mountain. Little blue. Look like maybe some little bluebells out here just hanging around here and there. Just a little something different. Because wildflowers come in so many different colors. I mean, they are just, they just come in God, hundreds of colors. Well, thank you, Mama Lisa. I appreciate that. It would be a pretty place to just kind of hang out. We could do a little of the real light lavender color that we made earlier in a couple of places. That'd be kind of pretty out here too. In fact, we could even highlight some of these dark ones and make them look like they're changing. a few light ones up here. Just don't want to cover up the entire field. I mean, that's the thing. We still got to have some of that green left in there, so. I'm going to say that'll probably do it on the wildflowers. Now at this point right here, you could actually be through with this painting, or you could come in here and do some bigger trees. That's entirely up to the individual. Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate that. The thing about doing a tree right now is you pretty much have to know what kind of tree you want to do. I don't really think a dead tree would fit this painting because it's got so many bright colors in it and there's so much life that I wouldn't want to go and add death to it. Yeah, I kind of do too, Dwayne. It just looks like you stumbled across this spot of wildflowers growing with that mountain way off in the distance, and you just took a photo of it. I kind of like it the way it is myself. It just seems like it needs something in the foreground to kind of push everything back. Fence. Yeah, you could probably do a fence. Thank you. The fence may go to trying to give it that pasture feel, and then you think, well, you need a barn in it, so. Oh God, I hate this. Artistic block, that's what it's called. Large rock. Would it fit in here, Dwayne, you think? Hey, Cricket Legends, how you doing? Yeah, everything's great, man. Hope everything's good with you. Yeah, with the mountains, I think you can get away with it. Good to hear. Well, thank you, Nancy. Yeah, it's a real hard decision. It is a very hard decision. Ooh wee, I don't know. I'm tempted to leave it just like it is because it is a field of wildflowers. I mean, it's not like there's not composition there. If it was just a wide open green field, I'd probably want to do something. But this may be one of them paintings that you kind of just have to sit on and think about it, dude. Well, now, Nancy, that is exactly one thing that I was thinking. An old cabin back in this corner right here. I was sitting there eyeballing that, and I thought, maybe an old cabin back there. But then that's going to be more in the mid ground. It's not going to help my foreground. Because if I do the cabin, then I'm definitely going to have to do a big tree. And I'm gonna have the scale just right, or it ain't gonna look right. Oh wow! I don't know if y'all seen that or not, but my hand moving and my head moving cast a shadow across it. It looked like the clouds was moving in the sky. Bravery test. Yeah, I know. But I've already been into this thing almost 2 hours, Dwayne. Well, right, I don't want it to look like a pasture, a pond. All right, I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet, and I'm gonna go ahead and go with the big tree. Over here, Kim, on this side. I don't know that I could get a pond in there without messing it up. since everything's so green and all them other vivid colors, like it's going off the edge of the canvas. That may be above my pay grade. Well, we only live once, so here we go with a tree. Oh, I hope I don't regret this. Oh boy. All right. Yeah, I probably will add a couple birds up in the sky. All right, a tree. Oh, this side looks heavy. So if we're gonna put a tree, it needs to be on this side, I think. All right. Oh boy. But then this side would probably make more sense. All right, I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're just gonna come up here and we're just gonna just bite the bullet and get it over with. Because the longer I sit here and think about it, the more confused I get. So I'm just gonna come in here. And if we're gonna make a tree, we're gonna make a tree. Ooh. Bring him a limb up and off the canvas. Like so. Bring another one right through there.
Hi, Yusuf. How are you? All right, I don't hear any cussing yet. That's a good thing, I guess. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking of all the times that I've watched Bob paint and he'll end up with a beautiful painting and then come in here and put a big tree in front of it and be like, oh man, Bob, you killed it. And now look what I did. I just pulled a Bob. Oh boy. All right. Time to do a little highlighting now. Yes, he did, Kim. Well, Dwayne, I ain't done with it yet. It may not be so nice when I'm done. All right, let me come up here and get just a little bit of the dark sienna and a little bit of the white. And a little bit of yellow ochre. Just a touch of the Van Dyke brown. Alright. Now it's time to highlight the little tree. So we'll come on outside edge over here. Hit the branch a little bit. They're not really as important because I am going to put some limbs up here, but some leaves, just in case they are shown. I'd like for the highlight to be seen a little bit. All right, now
just a little bit of white and a little bit of cad yellow together. Make me a sunshine color here. How the sun kind of hitting it a little brighter in a couple places on through here, maybe up here a little bit. So, alright, I'll clean this brush now. Then I want to come up here and kind of just real lightly blend this bright highlight color. Kind of just blend it in a little bit. I don't want to blend it away, I just want to blend it in. This is oil paint, Nancy. Just kind of blend it in up here a little bit. Like so. I am a nervous wreck, y'all. I am holding my breath and everything. Alright, now I want to get me a little bit more to white. And just a touch of the phthalo blue. Mix these colors together. Just looking for a little shade color. So we can get some refractive light on here. Not much, but a little. I'll come on this side. Get that white out of it. Come on this side and add just a little down through here. If y'all knew how much I was holding my breath right now, y'all be laughing y'all's butts off at me. We're holding ours too. Oh, Kim, I love that. That was awesome. Thank you for saying that. Oh, I needed that laugh. All right. That should be good on the retracted light. On the reflected light. So now I'm going to come up here and get just a little bit more of my Van Dyke brown
And I'm gonna come back in the center now and start kind of blending these colors together through here. Just real lightly blending through here. I don't want to. All right, about like so. Right. I'm gonna stop piddling right there. I'm gonna grab my 1/8 brush over here, and I'm just gonna bite the bullet. Well, thank you, Kim. I'm gonna come right here in my Van Dyke brown and my sap green colors. I'm just gonna mix them together right on the brush. Just tap it right in. Just make sure I got the bristles open real good. Alright, I'm gonna come up here now and just tap on the indication of some leaves. Alright, that's all I'm gonna do for leaves. I don't wanna overload it with leaves. Then I'm gonna grab my little oval brush. Come right over here in the thinner. And we'll come right here in my cad yellow. And a little of the sap green. I want to make sure these bristles are good and open in this brush before I go up here and make a big mistake. Huge. All right, here we go. Here and start adding on my highlights. Just want to be real careful not to kill all the dark, but still let it look like a tree. And since all our other trees and stuff are green, we're going to keep this one in the greens too.
So I'm gonna kill all this dark color in here. Make it look real flat. Because that's so easy to do. Especially for me. When I get to highlighting, it just tastes good. Makes me want more and more of it. It seems like the better it tastes, the more I put in. Alright, I'm going to stop right there before I overdo it, because I know how I am. But now that did push everything in that field back, I'll say that. Alright, somebody recommended a couple birds. So let's do that right quick. Alright, I'll tell you what. I usually use my script liner for birds, but Dwayne, let me tell you something. I might have made it look easy, but trust me, my friend, I was drawed up. I don't want to get too nasty here, but I had this chair puckered up pretty good. All right, Rod, thank you for dropping in, man. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna get over here. I just got one of my little detail brushes here, and I'm gonna come right here into some of Van Dyke Brown. Just a little bit on the brush. It don't take much paint on these little detail brushes. I think that's a big mistake a lot of people make when they're using these little brushes. They put too much paint on them. And you got to remember you're painting with the tip of these. So put one right there. One right there. One right there. Puts 4 in this guy. Ooh-wee. I don't remember who it was that recommended the birds, but they did kind of help some. Alright, I'm going to come right over here in this red now. And I'm going to come right up here. And I'm going to put my mark on it. And if you've ever painted women before, you know that once I put my mark on it, that's it, I'm done. I cannot go back and touch nothing else. That is a done deal. All right, do we have any questions, comments? Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that.
I was really worried when I made that brown streak through the canvas, I ain't gonna lie to you. Well, thank you, Kim. Doing those like that's the only way I knew I could really draw a whole lot of distance to the painting right off. That and the real light clouds in the sky, and then doing the distant mountains. It gave us distance right off. That and keeping the horizon in the lower third of the canvas. So that's just a couple little tricks. Whoever that was that said it needed a cabin over here, they were sure right. I wish I'd have seen that earlier in the painting before I got all those colors in there. That really would have looked good. Little cabin back in there. But anyway, we didn't do that. We kept everything in the spring and summer theme. I'd say all the flowers are basically spring and summer flowers. Nothing fall. And all I got to do now is clean some brushes, so we can either sit here and chat while I'm cleaning brushes, or well, thank you, Jerry Ann, I appreciate that. Or whatever y'all want to do. If y'all want to leave, or well, there's my wifey. Hello, wifey. Well, thank you very much. You should have been here for the big tree conversation. We was all debating on whether or not to do the big tree. Well, we did it. Well, I'm glad you knew, because I had my doubts. How's my dogs? I've been away from them for 2 hours now. I imagine they're little nervous wrecks up there. Thank you, Moni. I appreciate that. Oh, well, thank you for that. If y'all will, put the word out on my YouTube page that Painting with Harold, and help me share it or whatever, because my deadline is on my 1,000 is approaching quickly, and I just can't seem to get enough subscribers over there. I'm 160 away from 1,000, and I gotta have them by October. So if y'all don't mind, help me spread the word about it. Or if you're not a subscriber now, please go just click the subscribe button. You ain't gotta follow, just go click it. Even if you don't watch any of the videos, I just need the subscribers. Well, thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. It's just painting with Harold. All I did was I left my last name off over there. I actually made it before I started doing YouTube and developed a TikTok family. And my TikTok family, a couple people the other night said that they were big fans of mine, and I said, well, I'm a fan of you guys. I mean, I'm a bigger fan of y'all than y'all realize because of all the help y'all given me. So I'm more your fan than you are mine. I can't tell y'all enough how much I appreciate the support. It's really been humbling. And I've made some really good acquaintances and friends here. I mean, we stay in contact during the day. And I mean, it's amazing that I can come down here and paint and have people to talk to while I'm painting. All right, let me see if I can get this pulled a little closer. Y'all might get a better shot of it here. Yeah, I think the big tree did kind of help out. It just pushed everything back. Dixie, it's oil paint, and it's the wet on wet technique. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jay Burns. I appreciate that. Oh Lord, y'all can see my sexy leg. I didn't know that. I better hide that or I'm gonna end up losing followers. I'm surprised that light hitting it ain't glaring the camera and blinding folks. This was a very fun night. You guys made it fun tonight. I appreciate that. A lot of laughs was had. Well, Kim, I'm glad you did too. You kept me in stitches tonight, and I appreciate that. You made it fun. Well, Dixie, I hate you missed it, but I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to download this painting off of my TikTok live replay, and I'm gonna post it on my YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel is Painting with Harold, and it's a lot of how-to videos, and I got a few personal videos over there of sitting on my back porch or my front porch, animal watching. And it's just a real family-oriented page. Probably 95% of it is dealing with painting, and I do need as many subscribers on my YouTube page as I can get, because I got a deadline coming up and I got to have 1,000 subscribers or it starts over. So That's why I'm plugging it so shamelessly over here on this platform. But now I do love my TikTok family, I'll say that. But if you'd like to see this painting done all the way through, it'll be on YouTube either later tonight or by tomorrow for sure. But I got over 200 videos over there. A lot of different stuff. A bunch of beginner paintings. Painting with Harold, yep. It's just like the one here on TikTok. I didn't put my last name on it. Actually, I had it before I started TikTok. If I'd have started TikTok first, I probably wouldn't have a YouTube page, to tell you the truth. Because my TikTok family has been, oh my God, they've been amazing. The other reason I have as many subscribers as I do right now. Well, thank you, MC. I really appreciate you being here. Appreciate all the laughs and the input. You guys make the night so much more fun. It's so much better painting with somebody. My wife told me what I was going to have to do was sit down and work out a dedicated schedule. Like what nights I'm going to be on TikTok and what nights I'm going to be on YouTube. And I had never really thought about that, but she said it would let people know. And I think she's right. I think I need to do that. All right, is there any more questions? Of course you were right. Oh, the only reason I said that is because I thought you had left the room. If I knew you were still in here, I'd have never said that. I won't live that down. You never did answer me. I asked you how my dogs were doing up there. Yeah. I hear you. They just come inside. All right. Boy, this painting is so out of my wheelhouse. This just ain't something I normally do. I think the two ladies that wanted to see it done, I don't even think they were here tonight. I guess we done the questions and everything. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the close-up that I always do. All right, here we go. All right.
right. That's a close-up of it. Hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Dixie. I really appreciate you dropping in. And I appreciate the comments. And remember, guys, I love all of you. God loves you more. And I hope you all have a blessed night. And I hope to be back here maybe Sunday night doing something else. Good night, Dwayne. Thank you for being here, brother. So y'all have a very blessed night. And again, thank all of you for being here. See you next time, Painting with Harold.